All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's honestly pretty painful. Over the last 6 years as a traffic vendor, I've seen this happen again and again. A founder builds a genuinely brilliant AI product, they pour everything they have into it, and then nothing. It just fades away. And it's not because the product was bad. It's because of this thing we're going to call the visibility gap. Does this hit a little too close to home? You spend all this time, maybe years, wrestling with code, designing this beautiful, elegant solution, and you finally launch, just buzzing with excitement, only to hear absolute silence. If you've ever felt that sinking feeling in your gut, just wondering, why isn't anyone seeing this amazing thing I built, then you are in exactly the right place. So what's the knee-jerk reaction? What do most founders do? Well, they turn to the thing they think is the answer: paid ads. You scrape together a budget, right? Maybe it's something like $15,000, and you just pump it into the ad machines, hoping, praying for that wave of new users to show up. But then, this is what actually happens. After all that cash is gone, after all the clicks and the so-called impressions, the number of people who actually pull out their credit card and become a customer is 12. Just 12. It's a shockingly, painfully low number, and believe me, this exact scenario plays out all the time. And this right here, this is the punchline, and it's not a funny one. When you do the simple math, you just spent $1,250 to get a single customer. That's not just a little pricey. For most startups, that is a death sentence. You're just incinerating your cash with almost nothing to show for it. So the big question is, why? Why does this keep happening?
Well, it's happening because most founders, through no fault of their own, are running straight into what I call the visibility killers. These are the 4 big traps that just choke your growth before it ever gets a chance to breathe. First up, the brand recognition black hole. Let's just be real for a second. Nobody is Googling your brand's name. Not yet, anyway. You're not a household name. So when people are looking for a solution to their problem, your name isn't even in the running. You're lost somewhere on page 47 of the search results. Number 2, as we just painfully illustrated, is the paid ads money pit. Now, here's the thing. Ads can work, but they work for big, established companies that have already dialed in their funnels. For a new AI tool that's still figuring things out, it's just a really, really fast way to set your budget on fire. The third killer is what I call the organic reach mirage. You know the thinking, oh, we'll just blog, we'll do some SEO, and the traffic will come. You know what the brutal truth is? SEO takes a long time. We're talking 12 months, maybe more, to see any real meaningful results. How many startups have that kind of runway to just wait around? And finally, we have the influencer partnership disaster. This is where you email 100 influencers and hey, you get lucky. One agrees to post something if you give them a free account. And what do you get? A couple hundred views, 0 engagement, and absolutely no measurable return on your time. It's because something like 90% of these deals are just unstructured messes. Okay, so if the old playbook is totally broken, what are we supposed to do? It's time to stop thinking about random tactics and start thinking about a much smarter, more strategic approach. It's about partnerships. And let me be super clear here. I am not talking about influencer marketing. I'm talking about a structured media partnership. This is a totally different ballgame. It's a professional deal. It's got clear deliverables. You know exactly what you're paying for. It's spread across multiple platforms. And this is the most important part. It delivers results you can actually see and measure. Just think about it this way. Your AI tool isn't a pair of sneakers, right? You don't need a billboard or some celebrity doing a viral dance. What you do need are things like in-depth product demos that actually show people how you solve their problem. You need credible reviews from people your audience trusts. You need smart, strategic content. But at the end of the day, for any founder, it always comes back to one thing: the ROI, the return on investment. So let's put these 2 ways of thinking side by side and just look at the cold, hard numbers. Because this is where it gets really interesting. Okay, just look at this. The difference is staggering. The old way, you spend 15 grand, you get 12 customers, and it costs you a fortune for each one. The new way, the partnership way, you invest way less, maybe $3,000 to $8,000, and you get 31 conversions. Your cost per customer just plummets. But look at that last row. That's the real kicker. When your ad campaign ends, its value drops to 0. A partnership, that content keeps generating value for a year or even longer. And that leads us to maybe the biggest mindset shift of all.
This is about going from renting attention, which is all paid ads are, to actually building and owning visibility assets, things that grow in value over time. And here's what that looks like. In month 1, your campaign launches, you get a great initial spike of, say, 25,000 impressions. Cool. But then, by month 3, that same content starts showing up in Google searches, adding another 8,000 impressions every month, for free. Fast forward to month 12, and that one single investment is now pulling in over 45,000 impressions every single month, all by itself. That's an asset. So what does this whole thing actually look like? Well, it's an omni-channel campaign. You get the deep dive demo on YouTube that builds real trust. You get the quick, catchy highlights on TikTok to grab eyeballs. You get the smart, SEO-friendly reviews on sites like Medium. You're creating this 360-degree presence that hits your customer from every angle. You know, if you take away only one thing from all of this, please let it be this simple truth. The best product doesn't win. The most visible product wins. You can create the most revolutionary tool on the planet, but if the right people never ever hear about it, it doesn't matter.
So that really just leaves us with one final question for you to think about. I want you to take a hard look at what you're doing right now for marketing. Is your strategy actually built for measurable strategic visibility? Or, if you're being honest, is it just built on hope? Because closing that visibility gap, that choice is entirely up to you.